From gardening to animals to extreme renovations, welcome to Homesteading at College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Today we're planting lettuce. Well, today we're going to plant our spring greens. I'm way late. This is April the 16th. Generally I try and plant these the last week of March, but just didn't happen this year. So I'm going to plant our spring greens, and we plant those in a raised bed. That's about the only thing we plant in a raised bed, that and a few herbs. So I'm going to go ahead and get it doing that. What we like to plant, we plant a mix called mesclun mix, and then we plant something called black-seeded Simpson. And I get this at the local store, at the local feed and seed. I don't save my own seed. I probably could, but I don't. And then mesclun mix, spring mix, it's just mixed greens, arugula, Bibb lettuce, all kinds of different kinds of lettuces, and some other greens. And I like to mix that with my black-seeded Simpson, because that's Crystal's favorite lettuce. And I'll get that mixed up. Now what I've got invested here is about, $7 for these greens. Now if you go to the amount of greens we'll get will be somewhere in the range of $50 worth if you bought them at the store. So I can't wait for spring salads. We buy salad mixed over the winter, but it just don't match this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, get the bed turned. The thing about beds, when you got raised beds, you got to use something else to turn them with. I can't get my tractor in here, and I don't want to set my tiller up there. It's too much work. So I'm going to get this done, and we'll get this started. Now, look at that. That is a dandelion. That root's 18 inches long. Okay, I got the raised bed pretty much ready. There's a few old dead stuff in it, but I'm not too worried about that. The lettuce will come up around it. There were a lot of worms this time, which is good, but there were quite a few of these grub worms, and that may not be so good. So I pitch those out if I catch them, if I find them. Now, once it's all like that, then I just take the lettuce that I've mixed all together, and I start to distribute it. And I put it in here heavy. Alright, $8 worth of lettuce seed. Now I'll come back over this with my hand and just rub it all in. Now, why do we plant lettuce in a raised bed and we don't plant nothing else in a raised bed? Well, the big deal is that it hurts you back to cut lettuce, because you could have lettuce that you went along and just pulled it up and it wouldn't be so bad. But this lettuce, we'll cut it and then give it a little bit, and we'll cut it again. We'll cut it again. We'll get 3 or 4 harvests off of this, and it'll give us $10 or $12 worth of lettuce if you went out and bought it every harvest. So we'll have lettuce up until about mid-June, end of June. By the time it gets up to 85 degrees, the lettuce will be spent. We also have spinach in this, mesclun mix. Now, some of the lettuces will persist. For example, arugula, some call it rocket. It'll persist right on into the fall. Now, I'll also come back later and probably add some kale, so we can harvest some kale out of this too. The kale will make right in the middle of summer, but it don't taste good until the frost, as far as I'm concerned, until it's had a frost on it. So, in the fall, we'll have greens again. Okay, I'm gonna get this patted in. It's time for me to get on to the next thing.